Welcome, gamers, to the inaugural episode of PvP. I am your host, Potato Man, with my co-host Paul here. This is the very first episode, so it could be the one of very many, or the one and the only. But in this special first episode, we're going to be talking a lot of Zelda. Is Doom Eternal as good as they say it is? And how much is Sony seriously going to charge for a PS5? But we'll begin with Doom Eternal. Paul, you've had a chance to play this game. Where does it stand up with the rest of the elite of releases recently?
Well, I have to say, after playing the game a little bit to start and having some fun with it, it is a lot of fun to play. It is, it's a beautiful game. It's
Great.
It's a lot of fun to play. The movement is fast. It's very exciting. But it's the same problem is with all of these games recently, and that is that as a single player person, a single player gamer, and as a story driven player, it bothers me that the campaign is only 15 minutes long, or 15. It's only the single player campaign is only 15 hours long. That's it. After playing Witcher, where you have 200 hours, or Skyrim, which you have maybe even more of all kinds of stuff in the campaign, they expect you to just go straight from 15 hours and go right into the multiplayer game. It bothers me that it's a multiplayer game without. It's a multiplayer game they're trying to sell to single player games. That's what bothers me. What do you think about that?
I've never been a big Doom fan to begin with. It didn't have the same oomph as other Doom games. You know, even when you were a kid, playing the first one was kind of scary. This didn't have that kind of feel to me, but I've never been a big Doom fan. But, you know, I just don't like the fact that you got a short campaign of 15 hours with no replay value. You know, you finish it, then what? Start over, redo it again? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. They expect you to, as a single player person, they expect the replay value to be they're expecting it to be go right to multiplayer. That's what they're expecting you as a single player, and that's just not fair to the single player these days.
I agree. You know, so if it was me, I would pass on this one personally. For the price they're asking, I just don't see it.
You mentioned earlier you played all these Dooms. Which ones did you play again?
I played them all. They're very, very
really?
good.
What
Excellent.
systems?
You name it, man. From the beginning to end. Next subject. Here we go.
The next game that came out, and why these two games were linked together with all kinds of memes on the internet, is because they had the same release date. I'm sure many people are familiar with those, and that is Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum as Doom Eternal. You go from first player, blood everywhere, to the sweetest little goofy game on anthropomorphic animals. I don't know if any of you have ever played Stardew Valley, but it's very similar to that in its respect. It is very much, it's driven towards kids. It's very sweet. It's very easygoing. What did you think about that?
I've always been a fan of Animal Crossing. I love, in this particular release, is you can import your own photos into it, into the app. You can make your own guy. You know, you could be Witcher. You could be Mario, Bowser. It doesn't any of them. Literally, you can import your own now, and that was a really, really cool aspect of this. Good replay value, unlike Doom Eternal.
You enjoyed this game. You've actually put your character into this before? Because I played the last 3 days of this myself, and I have to say I'm a little disappointed. I think that you know this is a $60 game, and Stardew Valley was $4.99, and I think Stardew Valley is actually a better game than this. So you think that this is a good buy for 10 times the price, 12 times the price.
What game was that you were talking about?
Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley. I'm not familiar with Stardew Valley. So I'm going to have to say that yes, I think Animal Crossing is a good buy, and you should buy it, and it's a lot of fun, and you will have a lot of fun. Now, moving on to Half-Life Alyx. This has been a big release, very anticipated, very expensive product for the developers. There's been some serious issues with it, though, to say the least. I've read reviews on it, played it myself. It's very hit or miss, love it or hate it type of game. What did you feel about it?
Well, I thought it was an ambitious type of game to make a full release like this. What kind of system did you play it on?
The VR headset. You know, you stick it on. It reminded me of the old Virtual Boy. That remember that incredible mess of a nightmare system that the Virtual Boy was. It reminded me of that. You wear it for a long time, it starts to make your head hurt, but this was a good upgrade to that. If you are going to play one, this would be the one you play. And I also heard that the company VR, they are like putting all their stock into this game, whether how much they continue to push into this is how well this game does for the VR.
Well, they're certainly banking on the fact that people who have played Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 are dying for a game. There's always been the joke about when Half-Life 3 is going to come out. And the fact they brought this out now, they're hoping that these people will flock to this game, since VR has really had a hard time catch a foothold in the industry so far. It is funny to me that so far, when I was looking through videos trying to find interesting things that people were doing in Half-Life so far, show some gameplay of it, all I have seen so far are drawings of penises and boobs. That is all people want to do with their VR, is draw it on Windows, just drawing penises and boobs. That's all they want to do.
That's pretty cool.
What did you do while you were in there?
Oh man, all kinds of stuff. I was running around, jumping, high-fiving.
The last segment we have before we take a quick break is not necessarily a video game, but it is having to do with the general idea. As you can see, all the Star Wars stuff around here is Ahsoka Tano has been cast for Mandalorian Season 2. They're going to use Rosario Dawson. What do you think of this casting?
I hate it, actually. I absolutely hate it.
I'm amazed by that. You hate Rosario Dawson as the casting.
Yes,
Why?
I absolutely hate it. And which is amazing to me because I'm just happy that I can talk about something that I know what I'm talking about this time. I have read about this immensely, and I can't believe how many fans love Rosario Dawson, and they literally were going crazy.
I'm one of those.
Trying to push her into this when they were thinking about other people to do it, like Miss Marvel chick. What was her name?
Brie Larson?
Yeah, they wanted her. I'm not a big fan of her either, but when they were saying the Mallory Hazard, fans went crazy. To me,
I think she's a great pick.
I disagree. Here's why.
I like her as an actress. I think that she resembles the cartoon character. She's about the right age. In the Mandalorian era, right after Return of the Jedi, Rosario Dawson's 41, Ahsoka Tano's 45. It matches pretty well. I think that the character will look very well, very similar to what and especially like Rosario as a character, as an actor anyway. What do you have against it?
Ahsoka to me was like she was a young, full of life type of character. I just don't see Rosario Dawson pulling off Ahsoka's demeanor. I just don't get it. And Ahsoka's little. She's little. She's itty bitty. Rosario Dawson is not.
Rosario
She's
Dawson
anything
is
but itty bitty.
She's not big. And did you not see Clerks 2? When she was dancing around, that was pretty joyful and
That
cheerful.
was what, 2006?
Well, she's 41 now, same as Ahsoka.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing it, and we'll see if they can fit her into something. But I'm telling you,
My quick question would be:
they're not going to like.
How much do you think she's going to be in the season? How many episodes are there? Is it going to be one-off like some of these other characters, or is she going to be part of the whole season?
It's Ahsoka. I'm assuming she's going to be in it quite a bit. So I don't see it.
Well, then they'd almost have to rename it from the Mandalorian to the Ahsoka Tano.
We'll see.
All right. Well, let's wrap up the first segment, sir.
Okay. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk about our all-time favorite first-person shooters. Until the end, let's grab a word from our sponsors.
Well, how do you think that first segment went?
Woo, iffy.
I hope these sponsors don't watch the video before we actually get paid.
We're not going to get many sponsors. If that be the case.
Wait a minute. Do we have any sponsors?
We have no sponsors.
Well, then should we just go right back to it?
Back to PvP. How you doing? We don't have any sponsors yet. But we're going to talk about our top 5 first-person shooters. Matt, the camera guy, what you got for us? Top 5 first-person shooters, buddy.
Number 5, from Potato Man, GoldenEye, Nintendo 64.
Number 5 for me comes in with GoldenEye, which I know there's been a lot of trash talk about it. That if you go back and play it now, it's not fun anymore. It's outdated. I disagree. I played it the other day. I had so much fun. Me and my girlfriend played it. It's as fun as it ever was. I disagree with that completely.
I can't believe you say that. When I went back to play it not that long ago, I played the first 2 levels. especially the second level. Is it the first and second level where you use the sniper gun for most of the time?
No.
First level.
Is it the first level? Okay, the first level, I had a lot of fun with that, and then I had nothing to do. I was bored to tears until I got on the train where you get that super cool gun and blast everybody.
P90.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a big gun.
And other than that, every other mission is so boring. You have no idea where you're looking. It's a big block square. I did not have any fun playing that game outside of those two levels.
disagree. I went to the second level and I just cleared out everybody. Just went all throughout, kill all the scientists, you kill all the civilians, you just kill them all. Blow up everything. That's the one where they keep coming back, they respawn, and then in the end it tells you how many guys you killed. I killed like 47,000 guys. I think it's so much fun.
Number 4 from Paul, Fallout Las Vegas on the PlayStation 3.
Well, you can see our cameraman is not very familiar with this one. It was actually called Fallout New Vegas for the PlayStation 3. And this one holds a little bit of... spot in my heart because we are all from Las Vegas. So being able to go from the Strip to Sloan to basically where we live, and then all the way out to the Hoover Dam. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun exploring the places that I liked anyway. And then on top of that, you're playing a Fallout game anyway, which I enjoy the Fallout games. And yeah, that's my fourth one. What do you think about it?
You can do that? I have not played this game. You can go around Vegas? How, like in neighborhoods?
Yeah, it's not quite the same size. Like it's not the entire size of Vegas. But yeah, you go from like Nevada Landing and Sloan, and then you come up right about where Green Valley is, and then you can go right down the Strip.
Does it have street names?
Yeah, it has some street names.
I'm going to play this game. This sounds awesome. And that's why it's number 4.
Well, to be fair, like I have played some other games too after that too. I played Fallout 3 before that and Fallout 4 after that. And those games were both technically, they were both probably a little bit better. But I just have the soft spot on it because it's Las Vegas.
All right.
Number 3, the announcer zone. Far Cry, 3 was my favorite by far on the PlayStation 3.
Far Cry 3. Now, this is a game I didn't play, but I did sit behind my brother and watch him play it a lot, and it seemed like a lot of fun. So much to do. Giant sandbox game. Go out, do whatever the hell you want. Run around everywhere. Kill anything. You know, immense amount of stuff to do. So even though I've not played this one either, I agree. That's a banger right there.
Yeah. See, the problem with me with Far Cry's is I didn't play Far Cry 3, but I did play Far Cry 4. And to me, Far Cry is... It's
a Far Cry?
God, that's a terrible joke. It's a poor man's version of Skyrim or
it's a Far Cry from Skyrim.
Oh my God, how many times we or Fallout? You know, the people, Bethesda who make these games. It's just nothing is as well done as they do in the Obsidian games. The Bethesda games. And I'm sorry that I'm like this, and I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, but I just cannot stand that there's so many of these bad guy endings. There is no good ending, especially in Far Cry 4. It drove me nuts. There was no really good ending.
Number 2 from Paul, Skyrim, PlayStation 4.
We're gonna go with. I'm going to actually merge this into, instead of doing Skyrim, I'm going to do Oblivion and Skyrim. And it's really just the Elder Scrolls, the most recent versions. And the amount of stuff that you're able to do, we talked about this earlier in the Doom segment, where you only have 15 hours. There's 200, 300, 400 hours of content for a first-person player, which is, it's for a single player, which you don't also often get from first-person shooters. Not necessarily even a shooter, but just first-person games. The amount of stuff you can do, it doesn't tell you where to go necessarily. You can go any direction you want to go. You start exploring, and you never know what you're going to find. You can go into a million different directions and a million different adventures. That's what I love about those games.
I love it too. I like Morrowind. That was a really good Elder Scrolls game. It's on the old Xbox, but you can run around and steal people's forks and knives and bowls, and I mean everything that you can think of. You can steal it. Now, it has no point to the game. It doesn't do anything. But there's just something cool about stealing every single thing you see. I found that very fun.
How much of this game did you play?
I played it all. It's great.
You
The
played
whole
the
way
whole
through, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happened at the end?
Oh, man, that was crazy. It was a crazy ending, man.
All right, to the last one.
And number 1 from Potato Man, Grand Theft Auto 5 on your PlayStation 4.
That's right. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto. What a banger. It is unbelievable. I've never had so much fun mowing people over in a car, just drive down the sidewalk, one after another, mow them all down. You know, the cheat code, every gun, blow up helicopters. I mean, the fun never stops. It's so great. Greatest first-person shooter game ever made. What do you think?
Do you know what constitutes a first-person game?
Yes, one player shooting people.
One player shooting people. Is that where it comes first-person shooter?
First-person shoot. Why is it not a first-person shooter?
First-person shooter means you were actually from behind the gun, not behind the person. Grand Theft Auto would be what we would call as a third-person game.
Oh. Good one, though. It's a banger.
Do you have any other games, or we're just going to go with that?
Yeah, that's that. I'll do it. Thank you.
Okay, well, I have to say, I do agree that Grand Theft Auto 5 is quite a good
Go
game.
get it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have a great time playing it.
But that is our number one overall first-person shooter game of all time is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Welcome back.
Bonus stage.
Our final segment today is we're going to be talking about future games and our thoughts and ideas on those coming up. I'm going to hit you with a bunch of different games, and you're going to give me your insights.
You may fire one ready, sir.
The first thing is not necessarily a game, but just the system itself. There's been a few leaks about it recently, and that is the PlayStation 5. Are you excited for it?
I am not, because I don't have big money. I'm going to admit that. And these systems are just, the prices that they want for these are just so crazy. When people are buying the PS5s, that's when I go get my PS4. So I'm a system behind everybody.
What do you think is going to be the pricing point on the PlayStation? Let's say the cheapest version of the PlayStation 5.
I've heard rumors of $500.
Is that the cheapest version, or is that going to be one of the higher versions?
I've heard cheaper side.
If that's going to turn a lot of people away, because $500 for the cheapest version, that has never been the case with PlayStation 4 before this. And if that's the case, that is going to really hit some people the wrong way.
That's all speculation. That's just from what I've researched and looked. I saw that that's maybe what the price was. Now, here's where I have a problem with the PS5. You know, when you went from Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, that was like groundbreaking. It was like, oh my god. The same thing from from Nintendo 64 to Xbox to PS2, and then PS2, PS3. The problem is, and on the way up. But the problem is now, like, you look at a Madden on PS4, it looks like a football game on TV. If you weren't paying close attention, you might accidentally think that was an actual football game playing. There is no room to go anywhere. Now they have to start doing different things like 3D technology. They got to do something else now.
Yeah, the increment is much
There's
more
nowhere else to go from here. They've peaked at its top. So we're really, how much better could the PS5 be than the PS4? Besides, they'll stop making games for the older systems, and you have to buy that mother.
Well, they're already talking about backwards compatibility for all games in PlayStation 4, and one of the things they're really selling is that it has the load times go from like extended periods of time to 0, which I have to say, after playing Witcher most recently, it is a pain in the butt when you die and you have to wait forever for it to go back. But anyway, moving on real quick.
That'll be good.
The next thing, the next game I want to talk about is there was a leak about it just recently. They're going to announce it here in the next couple of days, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh!
Are you excited about that?
Oh! Man! Yes, I didn't know that. I just found out right now.
The rumor is they're going back to Vice City.
Oh! I didn't like that one. Go ahead.
I actually did like. I enjoyed Vice City. I liked it better than.
Tony Montana.
Well, it was very similar. They stole a bunch of things there, but it was a lot better. To me, it was much better. The graphics and play was much better than Grand Theft Auto 3.
I liked the new one when they had 3 different characters. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Remember you had the first character who didn't say anything? What? Go kill someone. Remember that? He never talked the whole game.
How long do you think it'll be when they announce it? How long do you think before it'll come out?
Yeah, pretty quick, I bet.
If it's under a year, I would be so happy.
Really?
I make it 0 chance. When they announced Red Dead Redemption, it took them forever to come out.
Well, one thing's for sure is Grand Theft Auto leads the way in terms of like breaking down new walls. So whatever they do, I bet it's really, really good and something new and groundbreaking. They always are.
Tell me, is it really you?
But it's the up-to-date version on the PlayStation 4, and that is coming out next month. What do you think about that?
Which one is it?
Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7. Nothing. I got nothing.
Have you played any of the Final Fantasies?
Mm-hmm. I played Final Fantasy 10, which was lovely. Leska. She was awesome with Titus. I played one of the earlier Final Fantasies that was okay, and I played I don't know. They all kind of blend to me. But what about you? Well, what's cool about this one? Why is
Final
it so
Fantasy
different?
VII is the one that everybody likes. This is the one that made Final Fantasy popular in the United States, especially for kids of our generation. When they were kids, they grew up with this. This was very heavily marketed, and I had a lot of fun playing it when I was a kid. I don't think it's necessarily as good as some of the later ones. 9 and 10, 12 are all better, but I am looking forward to playing it again. I heard they're actually going to split this into 3 different games. It always worries me when they take one game and they stretch it into 3 games and it feels like a money grab, but I am looking forward to playing it.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Another one of my pet peeves when I watch videos is people begging for likes and subscribes and comments.
Is this a new section?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And this section is about not liking people who like and subscribe?
Yes. I don't like them.
Are you trying to get people to like and subscribe?
No, it's just so funny. People are like, please like my channel. I'll give you my unborn child if you leave a comment, like and subscribe. Please.
If we get even one person to like this video outside of our family, I'll be stunned. If we get anybody to see it outside our family, I'll also be stunned. So I don't think we have to worry too much about that.
Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I'll suck your...
All right, as we wrap up today's show, I have one final segment I want to touch on, and that question is, should PvP become anybody else, considering Mr. Potato has a potato's knowledge on video games? What do you think about that?
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that my knowledge on video games is immense, and I just started to flap my wings. I just started. I mean, I know video games. They call me video games guy or something like that. I've heard that somewhere.
My vote is to replace it to PvP to become P is me.
No. No. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching the inaugural episode of PvP. I am Potato Man.
And I am plainly Paul.
Plain Paul and Potato Man. We will see you on the next episode of PvP. Thank you for watching. Take care, guys.
You don't want to say you should like and subscribe to our shit? Because I think you should.
No.
At the very end.
Yes. I think you should.
Hey, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment.